Hi guys, it's me, ColorMeCassie, and today we're going to be doing a review and wear test of the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. So guys, today we're doing a review and wear test of the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. I did film a first impression of this a while ago, but it never made it up on the internet, and I'm pretty sure it's just because I forgot about it, and then by the time I realized I had that footage, it was really old, and I didn't want to put it up and have you guys be like, oh, that's from January. So today I'm doing a review and full wear test of this foundation for you guys so you can see how it wears throughout the day and what kind of foundation it is. But before we jump into that review and wear test, I just wanted to introduce myself to those of you I haven't met yet. Hi, my name is Cassie. It's nice to meet you, and I would love for you to become friends with me on the internet. And how you can do that is by scrolling down and hitting that red subscribe button down below. And also make sure you hit that little notification bell so that you get notified every time I make a new video. And if you guys have not yet entered my 5,000 subscriber giveaway, make sure you go enter that. You can win the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit, the Too Faced Sweet Peach Palette, and a ton of other fun makeup stuff. If that sounds like a good time to you, then you can go check out that giveaway video. I'll have it linked in the description box down below and also up here in a cardie card. Without further ado, let's jump right into this foundation wear test and review. So guys, I'm going to be using the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. I did film a first impression of this a while ago, but the video for some reason never made it up, and now it's really old, so I don't really want to post it. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a review of this foundation, as well as a wear test. So today I'm not going in with any primer or anything, I just kind of want to show you guys how it wears throughout the day with nothing underneath. So I'm going to put a couple pumps on my hand, and I'm going to be using a Real Techniques Beauty Complexion, that's not the right name, Miracle Complexion Sponge today. I'll give you guys a little bit of a close-up, and then we'll kind of go through the claims that this foundation makes and talk about which ones it has met and hasn't met so far. I really like how this foundation goes on my skin. It seems like it has pretty good coverage. It's not like super full coverage, but it definitely does cover up everything I want it to cover up. It covers up my blemishes. I don't know, I had a couple up here. You can't really see them. I have one down here that was a little bit tougher to cover up just because it is more raised, and everybody knows the raised ones are the hardest ones to cover up. But I do have a fair amount of redness around my nose, and this did a good job of taking that out. So now that we've done kind of the close-up and you guys have seen how the foundation looks on my skin, I'm going to go ahead and go through some of the claims of this foundation just so that we can know what we're checking against throughout the day. So I'm on the Sephora website. It says it's an oil-free, long-wearing liquid foundation that delivers medium to full coverage and leaves a natural looking velvety matte finish up to 24 hours. Redness, pores, and imperfections visibly disappear, evening the skin tone and leaving mattified yet a natural result. So let's talk about those claims. Basically, it claims to be a long wearing makeup. I do believe that this foundation is long wearing. I'll show you guys throughout the day how it wears, but I am fairly happy with how this foundation wears throughout the day. It does feel really light. It doesn't feel heavy or cakey. It feels pretty much just like my normal skin, and it does set down to a, I would say probably a demi-matte finish. So right now, there's not a whole lot of shine to my skin that you guys can see. It does have SPF in it, so that's a good thing. They say on the bottle for SPF use, reapply every 2 hours. I'm going to be slathering makeup on my face every 2 hours. Thank you very much. So I would not use this for SPF alone. Like if you're trying to use this as a sunscreen, it's going to get kind of cakey, I would feel like, because you're putting it on every 2 hours. Let's talk about the redness, pores, and imperfections visibly disappear. That claim. So I don't know if you guys could tell from the close-up, but right around my pores right here that are enlarged around my nose, it does not make my pores disappear. It doesn't. My normal size pores around my face, like on everywhere besides my nose basically, You can't really see those after this foundation goes on. It does a good job of blurring those pores, but the pores around my nose that are visibly larger, those don't quite get covered up by this foundation. So just be aware that this foundation is going to be able to handle most pores, but if you have some larger pores in one area, like around your nose or something like that, it may not do the job. You may want to go in with something like professional ahead of time, just to smooth out those larger pores to make sure that you're not having those show through your foundation. And as far as the redness coverage, I think the redness coverage is pretty good. I did have to work a little bit to get it to cover the redness around my nose, but generally I think it really did cover my redness pretty well. As far as lines, I do have some pretty deep set lines on my forehead. I mean, they're definitely wrinkles. Foundation tends to sit in them, and that is happening a little bit with this foundation. It helps if you set it right away. I have done that before where I've set my forehead right away and not struggled as much with it setting into my lines. Just be aware that if you do not set this foundation, it may settle a little bit more into your lines. Okay, fun stuff. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back before I leave for the day. So guys, this is how the foundation looks with the rest of my makeup done. I think it looks really, really good. It looks very natural, like I don't have a whole lot of anything on my face. The only spot where I'm having any trouble so far is in my lines on my forehead, and as you guys know, if you watch me a lot, I deal with that constantly. From too many facial expressions, you guys. I'm too expressive. Yeah, if you guys have wrinkles already and you're in your 20s, don't worry about it. Mine are probably worse. I think it's looking really, really good. I'm going to update you guys throughout the day and let you know how my foundation is looking. I'm going over to my parents' house today and we're going to be outside playing lawn games and stuff, so it should be a really good test of how this foundation wears. I will see you guys in the future. Hi guys, so I'm doing a check-in right now to kind of look at my makeup a little bit. I am on my phone, so if the quality is a little bit low, I'm sorry, but I just kind of wanted to let you guys check out what my makeup looks like right now. In general, I think it's looking pretty good. So Brian says that it looks slightly more cakey and more oily for sure than I did before. I was noticing I had a couple lines up here, and then like there's a little bit of a line here in my foundation, but overall I think it's going really well. It's been on since 11, so that's 8 hours. Yep. I think that's doing really well. I haven't powdered at all, so I'm not like super shiny compared to other foundations. So I would think this is a success so far. What do you think, Brian?
I think so. Looks good still.
Thumbs up?
2 thumbs up.
Okay. So guys, I'm back. It is currently 11:50 p.m. and I actually just filmed this whole portion of the video and then realized I never pressed record. Tired YouTuber moments. I did powder just now because I was trying to show you guys how it looked while I powdered, but now I can't do that. I can't show you how it was before. So we're just gonna kind of go with it. I'm gonna describe to you guys how it was before, and we'll get through it. It'll work out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So right now it is looking a little bit patchy on my forehead, and that is mostly because it was oily before. Not super oily, definitely not like an oil slick or anything, but I was definitely a little bit shiny on my forehead and around my nose. My cheeks and my chin were all pretty much how they look right now. I didn't powder those very much at all, but my forehead needed a little bit of powder, and so did these little corners around my nose. So after I powdered, my forehead was looking a little bit more cakey, and I think that's just kind of how it's gonna work on my skin. Maybe someone with a little bit more normal skin type is gonna have an easier time getting the 24-hour wear out of this, but it's been just over 12 hours, and I'm feeling like that is pretty much the maximum I would put this foundation through. I actually didn't see it sink into my lines on my forehead as much as I have in other foundations. It still looks pretty much the same as when I just put it on as far as how much has settled into my lines. So I really, really like that about this foundation. It did wear around my nose a little bit. I definitely blew my nose and scratched it a little bit. It's hard for me not to touch my nose. Is that weird? But anyways, it is definitely worn off around my nose, so I'm looking a little Rudolph right now, but you know, whatevs. We're gonna go with it. But other than that, I think it has held up really, really well. You can still see my blush, which is kind of amazing, because blush is usually like the first thing you lose when your foundation is wearing. But generally, I really like this foundation. I really like the finish of it. It definitely has the medium to full coverage that it says it does. I would say it doesn't really blend out bigger pores, but it does smooth out smaller imperfections like small pores or smaller fine lines. I really felt like this foundation didn't accentuate the bigger wrinkles that I have on my forehead, which was a really nice thing for me, and I think it did wear a nice long time. My final kind of thought on this foundation is that it has been really lightweight the entire day. It hasn't really felt like I'm wearing anything at all, which I love in a foundation. So if you're looking for something with this coverage and this longevity, then you could probably find that in a less expensive foundation. But those foundations are typically going to feel a little bit more heavy than this on the skin, but literally my cheeks feel like there's nothing on them. So this foundation is going to be really good for people who need medium to full coverage, have normal to oily skin, want a 12-ish hour wear, and want to feel like they're not wearing very much at all. So that's pretty much it for this review of the Lancome Ultra Wear Foundation. I really hope you guys liked it. I really enjoyed making it for you guys. And if you did like this video, make sure you give it a big huge thumbs up so I know to do more videos like it. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please make sure you do so. And how you can do that is by scrolling down and hitting that red subscribe button down below. And you can also hit that little notification bell to make sure you get notified every time I make a new video. And if you haven't yet entered my giveaway, make sure you go check that out. I'll have it linked in the description box down below. And that's pretty much it. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Stand by.